Hi everyone, just put a mic on. It's Elaine here, the petite plump pensioner. If you're coming back, if you're somebody who's watched me before, then very welcome back. If you're new to me, then it's very nice to have you here. So I waffle on about lots of things and try things on for over 60s. But today it's just a quick chat. Well, I say it's a quick one. You know me, I like to talk. I'm just going to do a few films and books that I've enjoyed over the past few weeks. So, as some of you may know, we've downsized from a big 3 beds to a 1 bed flat. So I don't tend to keep my books. As soon as I've read them, I donate them on. So I'm using either library books or some graphics that I've saved onto my tablet to show you what it is that I've seen or read. So I will start with a book. So this one is Dinah Jeffries' The Greek House. Now, it's historical fiction, and I have to say that's not my genre. My genre is usually crime, thrillers, whodunit. But this author, Dinah, was introduced to me as part of a buddy read that I did, and I read her first, or the first book of hers I read was called The Tea Planter's Wife, and it was set in Ceylon. I have to say it was actually really, really good. Lots of description of Ceylon, and it was about tea plantation, and I'm a huge tea drinker. Plus there was a mystery going on, and there was something going on in the story, and there was unusual people, strange things going on, and I really enjoyed it. So then I read one that was set in Malta, and another one that was set in Paris. And this one, I was going on holiday to Greece earlier this year, so I got it for then. Again, great descriptions of the area where they are in Greece. There is a mystery. It's set in... No, I didn't have that bit ready for you, did I? But it was set, I think, wartime or just after wartime, and there was conflict between Greece and some Italian soldiers. Anyway, a child goes missing, and this is sort of telling the story of the child. Very good. I do like it, and if you're into historical fiction, I would recommend it. And if you're not and you want to try it, she's a great author. So that's her. Number 2, as I said, I like mystery. This is called Death at the Sanatorium by Ragnar Jonasson, and it is set in Iceland. Apparently it's been translated from Icelandic, and again, it's a really good whodunit. And I actually read this one quite quick. I'm a bit of a slow reader because I get distracted doing other things, but basically there's a sanatorium that treated tuberculosis patients, and there's only one wing of it open where they do about admin work, and I think there's 6 employees. But years ago, there was a spate of murders, and one of these 6 people is found murdered, and it seems to be very similar to what went on in the past. And it was basically just finding out, unraveling the story. It's a guy who's the person trying to unravel it is doing a PhD in criminology. And he wanted his thesis was on how this murder originally, how it was conducted, and he was trying to review that. Quite good, quite quick. A guy I've never read before. Yeah, I liked it. That's a good one. Now I'm going on to my tablet because I don't have the physical books anymore. And if I can get it out of my case and switch it on, we'll start with my next one. If it ever comes on. There you go. See, Mrs. Slick again. So the next one, I hope we don't have too much of a glare. It's Chasing the Dream by Sean Wallace, who many of you might recognise is one of the chasers off the quiz show The Chase with Bradley Walsh. I love quizzes. I love watching them. And to be honest, I think The Chase has been going for a long time, but I've only really been watching it about a year. Really like it, and I was intrigued by Sean Wallace because he is a barrister, a trained barrister, and I just wanted to read a little bit more about him. I thought it was good. I think he seems a very nice, kind man. He's had a very, very he had like a difficult, very humble background, and he really had to struggle to strive and get his qualifications, and he had to keep repeating things. So it's along the story of how he gets to the bar, and how his career. It's not easy to be in the bar. Now I've read other books before, and I know everybody says this. It's not an easy life even when you get there. He does go on a bit about his football playing when he was younger. He used to coach children, youth clubs in the summer. I'm a football fan, but it did go off a bit of a tangent and it lost me a bit. But then he goes on to how he became a member of the Chase, and how he won Mastermind. And I like that. I was really interested in how he did that. So that was a good one if you're looking for a light biography. Now this one. Now, as I said, I like crime. This was a new author. I think she came up as a Kindle. I read it on my Kindle as a Kindle recommendation. And she's called Kaz Finley. Now, I haven't met another person who's ever heard of her when I mention it to my friends. And this one's called, I think there's a Bad Blood, and I think there's a series of 7. And this is number 1, called The Boss. You can't really see it at the bottom, but it's called The Boss. All of it. Absolutely. Read through them. I've read 3 now, and they are so good. She's a bit, for those of you who read Martina Cole, she's a very glamorous young woman who gets in with a rogue, and they're in gangland Liverpool, and basically she then takes over. I just thought it's so good, so fast moving. She was very likable because she didn't seem a bad girl, and it hasn't got the gore that Martina Cole's books have. I only read a couple of Martina Cole, and even though I read loads of murders and that, I found that a bit uncomfortable. I found some of the details of what happened and the goriness was a bit too much for me. I thought, I want to enjoy my reading, not really be a little bit, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a wimp. But Kaz Finley, I recommend it to anybody. Really, really a new author for me who I'm absolutely in love with her work. So that's one. And then this next one was an audio book. I always have an audio book on the go. I use it if I'm having a bit of a stroll, or if I'm on public transport, or just, I don't know, lying and chilling. I don't know if you can see that, really is a glare. Oops. Roisin Meany, the book club. I get my books through my library. I join my library, and you can download an app through your membership called BorrowBox, and you can download books. You always have to wait sometimes for something good to be available. But I got this one, Roisin Meany, the book club. Oops, going off there. Again, absolutely lovely. It's set in Ireland, on the west coast of Ireland. Sorry, I'm messing with my microphone. And this guy ends up there. You don't really know why. Something's gone up on his past. He ends up renting a house, which is looked after by the neighbour, who's a woman, a grandmother, and her granddaughter. And something's happened in the past, and the granddaughter doesn't speak anymore. And they run a little library at the bottom of the garden. And it's just about that. And, a little bit of attraction develops. And it's a very small community, and it tells you all the stories of who are in the community. And, you really feel like you belong to them. And obviously, to me, the big thing about an audiobook is the narrator. And the narrator of this is a lovely Irish girl with a lovely Irish lilt. And it's dreamy because of the Irish lilt and everything. I really think that's the first time I've read Roisin Meany. Oops, keep getting all this ding. Oops, oh no, this wasn't a good idea, was it? But I think she's really good. So that was something I really enjoyed. So, moving on, like I say, I don't want to make this a really, really long one. I'm just going to discuss a few TV programmes that I've watched and that I've enjoyed. Actually, I've enjoyed a lot. There's a lot of books I could go on about, and there's a lot of TV, but I've decided just to highlight some of them. One that I've discovered that my husband doesn't really like, and he'll often go, we have a television in each room, in the lounge and the bedroom, and he'll often go to bed at 9 o'clock and watch something, and I watch my stuff, or I'll watch mine during the the day if I'm, doing something. Like I say, I have my desk in the bedroom and that. And it's cozy crime. It's called Whitstable Pearl. Ooh, this goes quick. Whitstable Pearl. Sorry about the reflection. And this is on one of the UK drama channels on Sky. Lisa Godliman is the female lead. Now, if anybody's seen Afterlife with, oh my God, why can I never think of his name? Him that played David Brent out of The Office. Anyway, she's in Afterlife, and I really liked her in that. And it's just cozy crime. She's called Pearl. She lives in Whitstable, and she sells oysters, but she wants to become a private detective, and then she then gets linked up with this police sergeant, and it's them solving crimes, a bit about the families, and there's an undercurrent of romance between the two. If you want something light, I think it's about the third series now. If you want something light, I think I like, and the scenery's good because it's seaside and the beach and the sea. So that one's a nice one. Or this one, The Gilded Age on, this reflection's not very good. I'll get it a bit closer. The Gilded Age is on Sky Atlantic, and it's co-written by Julian Fellows, who of Downton Abbey fame. And I love it. I love Downton Abbey, and I love The Gilded Age, and I think The Gilded Age now has just completed series 3. There's not enough episodes in the series for me. I devour it. And basically, it's very similar to Downton Abbey. It's set in America, and it's about the establishment of new money. So they mention the Vanderbilts, the names are all in there. And they mention Morgan, the banker. So people who put new money into England. And basically it's about this family. He's developing the railroad and making loads of money out of developing the railroads across America, which is one of the big things that, really financed and made the country grow. And she's his wife. She's called Carrie Coon. And I believe she's been in something about the Boston Strangler recently, but I've not watched it. And she's a bit more of a social climber. He's the brains behind it, but she's got her own brains and her own strengths, and about making changes in society. Honestly, it's really good. The younger female character in it is actually Meryl Streep's daughter. She's called Louisa Jacobson, but it's actually Meryl Streep's daughter. Once you know, you can actually see the resemblance in it. But lots of different people in it, lots of families. Lovely. If you like Downton Abbey, I really recommend that you look at The Gilded Age. Again, sumptuous dresses, costumes, houses. It's very interesting, and it seems it moves through, again like Downton, it moves through the history that's going on in America at the time. Good. Department Q. Oh, I'm so sorry about this glare. I thought this was an easier way to do it than flash up cards. Department Q is on Netflix, and it's a British crime drama. I believe the second series is about to come out. It's good. It's a police drama, and basically, excuse me, the main detectives, he's had a checkered past. He's been a bad boy in the past, and he's a bit ousted. And the new police chief gives him a job as like looking at cold cases, and they put him down give him an office space, and it turns out to be a dingy cellar. It's just awful. Everything's been put in there for years. They give him a couple of people to work with, and they're all misfits. And then he comes across this guy who's from, I think he's Iran or Syria, and he's not a policeman, but this sergeant seems to co-opt him onto the team. And you think there's something about him, has he been police or MI5 or something in his previous life? Basically, they put them together, they solve a case, they make the most of this office area, and I think it's just so great. It's just so great that the characters are not perfect, they're flawed, they're all eccentric, but the combination of them all together is very impulsive. Now there's 8 episodes in that series, but my one thing I'd have to say, episode 6 and 7, you're beginning to lose the plot and you're thinking, I'm not sure I can stay with this. I'm not sure. But all I can say is do, because 7 and 8, that comes to the climax in the end, are so good, so good. I've not found anybody who's watched it who didn't like it. So that's one. This one's not a very good image, but recently this week is I Fought the Law. Oh my word. With Sheridan Smith. And this has just been on ITVX, hasn't it, or ITV. And it's a true story of Anne Ming, whose daughter was killed and left stuffed under her own bath, the daughter's bath. The police botched up the investigation, and it's about Anna's quest and her husband's to fight the law, really. I fought the law. And basically the killer then confessed to it later on, but he couldn't be charged because of the double jeopardy law. And she fought like a Trojan to get the double jeopardy law changed, which I think has obviously helped bigger crimes that we know of today. And she's really good. She has a different approach to it to her husband. Very, very different approach. And it splits them up a little bit, the pressure of it all. But it's good. Characters, but to be honest, I love Sheridan Smith. I absolutely love Sheridan Smith. Everything she's in. Like this, she plays a different character than I've ever seen her do before, different accent, different mannerisms. And I've been fortunate enough to see her on stage. Oops, kick that. Seen her on the stage when she played Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl in Manchester. Absolutely one of the best lead lady performances I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of good people. The way she acted in that, I don't think she's had a lot of formal training, Sheridan Smith, but like her. So that's a good one. Oh yeah, there's a better picture of her with I Fought the Law. And I will round up with my last one, which really ties up books and films together, and that is The Thursday Murder Club. So these are based on the books of Richard Osman, he of Pointless fame, and was it The House of Games? Yeah. This has only just come out. It was a Netflix movie, they said, but I don't think it was very long. I couldn't wait for this to come out. I have read all 4 of the Thursday Murder Clubs, and there's a 5th one that's about to be released, I think, at the end of the month. I love the books. They're set in an elderly person's residential home called Cooper's Chase, and it's a set of, to the outward eye, older people, 70s, 80s, who society would probably just look at and go, look at them old so-and-so's there. But they've all got great backgrounds and great stories. Anyway, they end up being amateur sleuths. So on the library in the building has different activities or different games, like say a jigsaw club or something like that, art club. Well, on a Thursday, these hire it out just to try and solve murders. And it's funny. The characters are so funny. The books, I can't tell you how good the books are. I love true crime, and I fancy myself as a private detective or something, and I would like to live at Cooper's Chase. So I was waiting for this film. I thought it might have been a series, but it's film. It's casting, it's got big names: Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Ben Kingsley, Celia Imrie. I'd made some mixed reviews before I saw it, and I don't know what to say. I want to be really gushingly great about it, but I don't know if I can be, if I'm being really honest. With a lot of things, the books are far better than the televised or the dramatised versions of them. There was a lot cut out, and you have a preconceived idea in your head of who these people look like. Helen Mirren was absolutely excellent. I think Ben Kingsley fit his part. Celia Imrie, I thought she was good. I've seen a lot of critics that say the person she portrays was, you could almost see her as a bit dithery and a bit weaker and a bit milder and a bit meeker and overpowered by Ellen Mirren's character. But I don't know, I didn't think she was that bad. But I think the one thing I have to say is Pierce Brosnan, who's his casting. I like Pierce Brosnan, but this was awful casting, an awful role for him, I think. I mean, it was bad enough in Mamma Mia when he was singing, but and I don't like Mamma Mia series. Let me tell you, I do not like them. But in this, the character in the book is a retired Bolshevik union leader uh, who would take on anybody, fight anybody's battles or whatever. And I just felt Pierce Brosnan didn't come over in that role. He was a bit. He was a bit nice. He looked a bit like an aging rock star rather than an aging trade unionist, Bolshevik leader. So yeah, I thought he was quite weak in it, but it was good. It passed a while. The image I had of Cooper's Chase was nothing like the dramatisation, and I have to think the way they portrayed it in the dramatisation, it probably looked far better. Oh, sorry, it looked so much better. It looked a great place, but it looked one of these places where you had to have a lot of money to live there. Each individual's apartments were huge, but it was good. So this is the things that have been keeping me occupied, as well as I have to say I watch football every night if it's on. But in between football, these are the type of things I like to read and watch. So yeah, I don't know what you think. What do you like? Have you got any recommendations looking at what I do like? Other things I like, I love a good drama. I actually love crime and investigation. I love true crime stories. I like a bit of everything. I love my soaps, to be quite honest. My favourite soap is Emmerdale. I'm an Emmerdale girl, even though I'm living Manchester Coronation Street, and I do love Coronation Street. And Coronation Street started the year I was born, so yes, I'm that old. So I do like my soaps, TV quiz shows, anything like that. I have actually been on Tipping Point and been a winner, so that's something I do. I'll watch hours of them. So that's it for me. I hope it's a quick chat. I hope I didn't drive you absolutely mental. But let me know below in the comments. Is there anything you think I should watch, or any books you recommend, or have you watched or seen any of these? What do you think about it? Anyway, so that'll be it for now. So you take care of yourself. If you want to like the video, if you want to subscribe, I'd be absolutely thrilled with that to help me grow. But yeah, so I'll see you again in my next one. Okay then, bye now.